Hello and welcome, Minnesota Farah. We are genuinely very happy to have you with us for our daily coverage of the NFL news. Please subscribe to our channel to support our initiative as we bring to you the latest updates from the world of NFL on a daily basis. Now let's dive deep into our news stories.
I'm your host, and I'm here to bring you the latest and greatest updates from around the league. So let's dive right into the action, starting with our first news. News 1, Arizona Cardinals. 1. The Arizona Cardinals, currently standing at 1-4-0, have been hit with some unfortunate news. Running back James Conner, a key player for the team, is facing some adversity. He's been placed on the injured reserve list due to a knee injury. That's a tough blow for the Cardinals as they navigate their season. Now, let's move on to our next update. News 2, Atlanta Falcons. 2. In Atlanta, things are heating up for the Falcons, who are sitting at 3-2-0. They've made an interesting move, acquiring wide receiver Van Jefferson from the Rams. Not only did they get Jefferson, but they also secured a 2025 7th-round pick. In exchange, they gave up a 2025 6th-round pick. It's always fascinating to see how these trades play out in the long run. However, there's more news coming from Atlanta. The Falcons have decided to part ways with wide receiver Zay Malone from their practice squad and linebacker Andre Smith Jr. Now, let's glide to the next headline. News 3, Buffalo Bills. 3. The Buffalo Bills, standing at 3-2-0, have been bolstering their squad. They've signed cornerback Josh Norman to their practice squad. The Bills are looking to fortify their defensive depth as they continue their campaign this season. Now, on to the next piece of news. News 4, Carolina Panthers. 4. The Carolina Panthers, with a challenging start at 0-5-0, are making moves to improve their roster. They've signed defensive back DiCaprio Bootle to the active roster from their practice squad. It's a step toward shoring up their defense and hopefully turning their season around. With that said, it's time to move on to our next update. News 5, Chicago Bears. 5. Over in Chicago, the Bears, currently at 1-4-0, have made an intriguing signing. They've added wide receiver Colin Johnson to their practice squad. This move could potentially inject some fresh talent into their receiving core. But there's more coming from the Windy City. The Bears have decided to release practice squad kicker John Parker Romo. Now, let's sprint to the next news item. News 6, Cleveland Browns. 6. The Cleveland Browns, with a record of 2-2-0, are keeping fans on their toes. Star quarterback Deshaun Watson is nursing a rotator cuff contusion. He didn't practice on Monday but did some throwing. His status for Week 6 is still up in the air after missing the Browns' Week 4 game. The team and fans are eagerly awaiting further updates on Watson's condition. Now, let's move to the next update. News 7, Denver Broncos. 7. In the Mile High City, the Denver Broncos, at 1-4-0, are dealing with several injury concerns and a few player developments. Running back Javonte Williams, who's been limited due to a quad injury, was a full participant in practice after some concerns on Monday. Tight end Greg Dulcich, who has been battling a hamstring issue, is making progress. He's been designated to return from injured reserve and return to practice today, which could be a significant boost for the Broncos. However, there's more to keep an eye on. Center Lloyd Cushenberry III is dealing with a quad issue, and defensive tackle DJ Jones has a knee problem. Linebacker Frank Clark missed practice due to illness. OLB Baron Browning is dealing with a knee injury, and safety Justin Simmons has a hip concern. Now, let's jump into our next headline. News 8, Detroit Lions. 8. The Detroit Lions, with a surprising 4-1-0 record, are making moves to strengthen their squad. They've signed tight end Anthony Firkser and cornerback Anthony Everett to their practice squad, bolstering their depth and possibly gearing up for a deeper playoff run. However, there's also some trimming to be done. The Lions have decided to release wide receiver Trey Quinn and cornerback Darius Phillips from their practice squad. Now, let's pivot to the next piece of news. News 9, Green Bay Packers. 9. The Green Bay Packers, currently sitting at 2-3-0, are also working to fine-tune their roster. They've added linebacker Justin Hollins to the mix, which could provide a much-needed boost to their defense. On the flip side, they've chosen to part ways with running back Patrick Taylor. Now, let's glide to the next update. News 10, Houston Texans. 10. In Houston, the Texans, with a record of 2-3-0, are making some strategic moves. They've signed defensive end Kerry Hyder Jr. to their practice squad. However, they've also decided to release wide receiver Lance McCutcheon and offensive tackle Jaron Christian from their practice squad. Now, onto our next news item. News 11, Indianapolis Colts. 11. The Indianapolis Colts, currently at 3-2-0, are making some interesting signings. Quarterback Kellen Mond is joining the team's practice squad. The Colts are looking to strengthen their quarterback depth, and Min might be a valuable addition to their roster. Now, we've got a few tryouts happening in Indianapolis. They're taking a look at quarterbacks Holton Ahlers, Anthony Brown, Trace McSorley, and Kellen Mond. Now, let's jump into our next headline. News 12, Jacksonville Jaguars. 12. Over in Jacksonville, the Jaguars at 3-2-0 are dealing with some injury concerns. Wide receiver Zay Jones is considered day-to-day, which is always a relief for fans. The Jaguars hope to have him back on the field soon. Now, let's sprint to the next news item. News 13, Kansas City Chiefs. 13. The Kansas City Chiefs, currently leading their division at 4-1-0, have some notable injury news. Star tight end Travis Kelce is dealing with an ankle issue. Coach Andy Reid mentioned that Kelce is feeling a little bit better and practiced in a limited capacity. The Chiefs and their fans will be keeping a close eye on his progress as they prepare for their Thursday night game against Denver. Additionally, linebacker Nick Bolton is dealing with an ankle injury, and defensive end George Karlaftis has a hamstring concern. That's all for today. Please consider subscribing if you liked our effort, and we will meet you tomorrow with a new set of updates.